Right. So how do you like being a equine physical therapist right now?
I think it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough because it's a really unique, small kind of niche field that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't know about. So even in the horse industry, people don't know that I exist or that I'm an option for them.
Uh-huh.
Chiropractors are really big. Massage therapists are really popular, but physical therapy is kind of new, especially in the States. Over
Mm-hmm.
in Europe, it's a little bit bigger. So that's probably my biggest challenge, is educating folks about what I can do as a physical therapist, and that I even exist and am an option.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard. And that's why I try to do all the social media stuff and YouTube to kind of get that out there.
Right.
But the actual treating of horses is so important, and it's such an underserved kind of community for physical therapy, because our horses, you know, more so than any other pet that you might have,
Mm-hmm.
are athletes. We're asking them to do some crazy stuff. We're riding them. They were not built to be ridden
Right.
necessarily. So they end up with a lot of, aches and pains and compensatory movement patterns and stuff, just like human athletes do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really awesome to be able to help them with that.
Right. They have to perform at their top level. How do you make
Mm-hmm.
horses do what you want them to do if you can't instruct
Yeah,
them? How creative would you
right.
be?
Yeah. So that's again where having some background, like horse knowledge, is pretty
Mm-hmm.
important. Having a general understanding of training and how to motivate a horse to do something is important. But think about, like, I kind of relate it to pediatrics a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you might have a kid who is nonverbal, they can't communicate easily with you, and you can't communicate easily with them. And so you have to find a creative way to get them motivated and to accomplish the task. So it's very similar, I think, with horses, because we don't speak the same language, but
Right.
we can kind of find a way to communicate that's creative, and using things that are motivating to a horse, like food's always
Mm-hmm.
motivating to a horse. So you can use things like that to kind of get them to cooperate. And horses are really generally very cooperative and want to please. So
Uh-huh.
if you're patient with them and have kind of the training skill set, at least a little bit there, you can usually figure a way for most things. Now there are times that I have to say, oh, that didn't work like I thought it was. Let's try
Oh,
something
okay.
different, of course. But yeah, it's I think it's pretty similar to working with kids a lot of the time.
Is it the same like with treating humans that you have to build rapport with a horse
Oh, for
before,
sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's definitely a layer of trust involved, right, in everything. And some horses more so than others, right? They all have different histories. Some of them may have come from a really, traumatic background of
Mm-hmm.
something, an accident that was traumatic, or an abuse case or something, really awful. Or they may have had a really, easy life where they had one loving owner for all their life and it's been pretty smooth. So those two horses would take, a different amount of warming up time to trust me coming in. Um, but similar to people, right? We all have
Mm-hmm.
kind of different backgrounds, and some patients warm right up to you, and some you
Right.
really have to chip away at and convince them slowly over time that, we really do have your best interest at heart. We're here to help.
Right.
So yeah, moral of the story is it's really similar.
Is
It
it
really
true that
is.
horses would feel if you're afraid of them?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.